What is up, everybody? Episode 9 of Married at First Sight. And I really feel like my thoughts were all over the map on our couples today. I kind of don't think I did a very good job with my notes. So we're going to see how this goes. But first, I want to start with Zach and Michaela. They were obviously not in a very good spot last week. I will say that it seems like things improved for them this week, but ultimately, like, my outlook for them just really hasn't changed. To me, this relationship just feels over. I just don't see Zach getting over the hurdles and what he's seen so far. And Michaela, she just, I think she's a little bit too slow to realizing the error of her ways. And now is at a point where not only does she have to change her ways, but she has to prove to Zach that she's changed. And like, really, they've only been together like a week, maybe a little longer, because like they got married, then they had the COVID incident, and then they're just back together now. So like, to me, this relationship is still in its infancy when compared to our other 4 couples. And for them to have this many issues this early just does not bode well for them. At that they're having that conversation at the start where Zach is like, before the conversation, Zach basically talking about how Michaela's refusing to talk to him, won't text him, giving him something about, oh, don't text this number, I don't want to have a phone call. And then Zach kind of explaining everything to her when they sit down, and her like first response back is, oh, you can just talk to me. And I'm sitting there thinking, he did try to talk to you. He did try that, Michaela, and you refuse. So that can't be the solution if you refuse to allow it. They did improve from the start through this episode. I thought their date where they went over the questions was probably the highlight for them. It kind of seemed like they left that with a positive outlook on the relationship. Even at Jose's barbecue, they seemed both positive about their relationship. But I mean, even in just next week's preview, we're already seeing some sort of fight or conflict from them again. So we just can't keep going this way and expect for a happy outcome. All right, next couple, and this one felt like an absolute roller coaster to me this week, and that is Bao and Johnny. I just don't like Johnny anymore. Even if this couple works out, how humiliating will it be for Bao to have all of her friends and family watch this show for the first few weeks and see the things that Johnny said about Bao? It would be just humiliating. And I just really feel for Bao, because I really like Bao. I like Bao way more than I expected to when this season started. She seems like she's really, really, really wants things to work. Feels like she's bending over backwards for Johnny. And even as things improved for them this episode, really it seemed like Johnny was only interested in having sex with Bao. Like, that was the turning point for him, is having sex with Bao. Like, nothing changed relationship wise. He can just knows that he can have sex with Bao now, so he's in a better mood about the relationship. I really dislike that. We often talk about couples wanting to get to a good place emotionally with their partner before engaging physically, and this seems like a situation where they were in a bad place emotionally, and then they engaged physically, and now it's kind of maybe just masking up some of the issues for this couple. At one point, Johnny said that he was seeing red flags, and I was just kind of thinking to myself, man, you must be standing in front of a mirror right now, because that is what you are, Johnny. You are red flags. And, I'm just going to say it. I think Bao deserves better. Another thing that came out tonight was, is it possible that some of Johnny's issues stem from learning about sex from hentai? That's probably not the best place. Like, even school, like, didn't you have sex ed? Like, I had sex ed when I was in, grade 6? And they taught us all about sex. Maybe that was too late for you. Maybe you were an early bloomer, Johnny. I don't know, but just feels like even without the birds and the bees conversation from your mom and dad, there had to have been other avenues for you to learn outside of hentai. One of my highlights for Bao this week was her the morning after, and when she dropped the line, "I am now Big Spoon." I definitely cracked up. Really enjoyed hearing that, and honestly, I just really like Bao. Then, like, we saw they had kind of two dates, and felt like they spent way too much time on the darts for sex match. Like, we watched them play darts way too long, just knowing that the outcome was them having sex. Just felt very awkward to me. I was like, okay, I don't want to see this anymore. Let's move on. Like, how about a conversation or something? Nope, just more of them shooting darts. Felt way, way, way too long. And then their second date, really just did not like Johnny's reaction to Bao actually wanting to paint. There's nothing wrong with Bao wanting to paint on the paint date. It doesn't have to be all sex all the time, Johnny. And, when you're saying romance, you don't mean romance, you mean sex. Very different. And to me, they could have painted, then had some romance, then had some sex, however they wanted to do it. But just let the woman paint. All right, that's all I got to say for Bao and Johnny. Let's move on. I want to jump over to Mirla and Gil. I had a little moment in between last week's episode and this week's, and I had a thought to myself that was, is this the couple that's been having sex off camera all season and just don't want to share it with anybody? I just had that little thought because that Gil, he likes stirring the pot, and he's always kind of pushing those conversations. And he was the one who kept bringing up sex earlier in the season with the other men, the other couples. And I would wonder if it was just him stirring the pot a little bit because they'd already been having sex. I don't know, but I really feel like, what are we, 3 weeks in now? If they haven't even kissed, something's up, and I'm just not buying it. Like, they seem affectionate with each other. They seem like they're getting way closer with each other. And for them to have not kissed is ridiculous. So I'm not only not buying that they haven't kissed, I'm saying that they have already had sex too. I'm also starting to feel like, is chocolate chip cookies code for something? Like, is Gil really liking, am I maybe I'm just reading too much in there. Maybe I'm just trying to dig too deep in this couple, and maybe I need to just reel it back a little bit. Ended the night with them on a dinner date. It was a place that Mirla picked, and one thing I didn't like was Mirla said that she would like to have a husband who went to brunch once a week and dinner twice a month with her. Because in my opinion, that is not even close to too much to ask. Like, we're not even saying like Gil has to plan 6 dates a month. We're just saying Gil has to show up for 6 meals out a month. And you know what? If money's an issue, I bet that Mirla would pay for each and every one of those meals just to have you there. It seemed really important to her, and something that Gil has just been pretty stubborn on, and that's just money in general. That's her life, that's her lifestyle. And Gil seems to think it's okay for him to ask Mirla to give up her lifestyle, but not vice versa, or to not give up but change her lifestyle, but not vice versa. Like they should keep doing that things Gil's way and not hers. But there should be some in that regard, some sort of compromise. And I think 6 meals out, like really, Gil, like what are we talking here? Like 6-8 hours of your life each month. Yeah, you can spend that going out for dinner with your wife. One thing I did not like, as well as that date, was when Gil started talking about wanting to be wanted. And that's what he wanted out of the relationship. Kind of felt like he was starting to pour his heart out a little bit to Mirla. And then she kind of came back with, I want a husband who wants to go to brunch with me. Like Mirla, you just really missed the mark on that one and just felt like a real blow to Gil. All right, let's jump over to Rachel and Jose. Don't really have a lot to say about them this week. Rachel hinted on them having some communication issues. Turns out the communication issues are Jose just talks too much. They had that cute moment with the goat yoga. My wife and I were watching, and my wife just turns to me and says, if we went and did that, I wouldn't do the yoga. I would just sit there and just play with the baby goats. And I was kind of thinking like, yeah, that's probably what I would do too. If you have a chance to just cradle a baby goat, of course you're going to do it. Rachel dropped the L bomb tonight. Kind of just got swept under the rug. Was like one of those little phone blog moments like, hey, we said I love you. Isn't that great, everybody? Felt a little weird to me, but they are the first of the season that we know of to drop the L bomb. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about them. Lastly, Brett and Ryan. I'm just not that interested in them. I want to. They seem like they should be interesting. They're really just not. And like, how much screen time did they get tonight? Felt like almost none. Like the most important part was really the conversation, where what we got out of it was that Ryan felt like he was falling behind Brett in terms of love and the relationship in general, and that maybe Ryan has been too slow to open up in the past. Yeah, we gotta be seeing some more from them in the future if they want to get out of this last slot on our reviews. They're staying here until further notice. Their preview probably looked more interesting than they were this entire episode. So maybe that's hope that they can offer us something moving forward. All right, everybody, that's it for me tonight. As always, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to hear what everybody has to say about this week's episode. If you're looking for more MAFS content, I highly recommend checking out Chloe Johnson or Niecy Dixon. I've been really enjoying both of them this season. Maybe I'll leave some links somewhere for their channels. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.